These my dollars make it hurt.
Welcome. What's going on, everybody? Welcome once again to the one and the only. This is the Big Time Show podcast that is being seen and heard everywhere on pretty much all your podcast platforms. But especially being seen live right now as we speak on YouTube and on Twitter and on YouTube live right now on the Sports Empire Network page. I'm here, ready to go, ready to throw out during the off season, you pretty much you have some shows that are, in my brief time doing this stuff, you'll have some shows that are actual factual, but especially in the off-season time is where a lot of conspiracy shows happen, a lot of opinionated shows, start up and, things just to get everybody, acclimated or, well, not necessarily acclimated, but maybe something would be said to make you think, some along the lines of not saying, of course, that I'm right and 100% right and all that. It's just that this is just in my mindset. I don't have to tell you guys, how long I've been a Cowboy fan all my life. Most of you know how old I am now, 50 on the dot. We're just here to, I know this organization. Been around it too long, seen too much, and it is what it is. So I'm ready to go ahead and throw out another conspiracy theory that I think gonna help make everybody kind of think just a little bit. That's what I'm thinking. Before I speak to everybody, I want to say, let me see. Oh, I see. Oh my God, East Side Harold. Lord have mercy. If this the way that I'm gonna start the show off with East Side Harold, I appreciate you, Azul C Star. Hey, what's up, E? What's going on, man? One of my brothers in here. What's going on, E? I just got started here. Hey, Miss Smith on Podbean, Smoke made his return to the show on Podbean. What's going on, man? Appreciate you popping in as always. Thank you for taking a little bit of your time out to come holler at your boy real quick. Those that have not spoken, hey, everybody that haven't said hello. What's going on? Man, I'm throwing out a conspiracy theory today. I gotta admit it. Somewhat wrapped in a little bit of facts. Again, hello, Azul Sea Star. Appreciate you sharing my video. I don't know who you are, but you're a friend of the show already. You coming in, sharing the show. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. What's up? One of my real brothers, one of my best friends is here. Over 30 years of friendship. Marlon Haynes in the building. I would probably one day get him on the show, but he has a sense of trying to take over. He used to do this stuff a while back. And I wouldn't even get a word in on my show. that's how my brother is. Very knowledgeable about the Cowboys as I am. We lifelong Cowboy fans. He has that to say. No, Eastside Harold, we're not going to miss Dalton Schultz. No, we're not. So I'm glad you got a good he's good tight end, but the question becomes with Dalton Schultz, Eastside, is this: was it the system, or really was it him? Okay. No, he's not on that level with a Mark Andrews. He's not of course, a Kelsey. He's not a Darren Waller. He's not these type of guys. You put real players in the right system, though, they can flourish. We'll see if Dalton Schultz was just a system tight end that got a lot of catches, or was it, or is it just not him? You're right. Got top 5 production, but that was with Dak Prescott. Don't forget that. That was with a pretty good offensive line or makeshift line and some wide receivers that he had that left him wide open. I mean, if you got Dalton Schultz, who you going to double team? Dalton Schultz or Amari Cooper? Who you going to double team? CeeDee Lamb or Dalton Schultz? Who you going to double team? So we're going to find out how good Dalton Schultz really is this year. That's all I'm about to say. But I don't want to talk about Dalton Schultz at all because it's not a good topic of conversation at all. Not for me. I don't even know why I'm entertaining a Houston Texans fan in the first place. But anyway, let me get on to the show. Here we go. Appreciate everybody that's popping in slowly but surely. Y'all speak to me so I can see who all in here. Smoke, you on Podbean. I got this troll. He's my brother, but he's a troll. He's a Houston Texans fan. And he always is in Dallas Cowboy podcasters world. I mean, he just go from show to show, just holding up the flag of the Houston Texans. I don't even know why he holding it, but hey, God bless him. But he here. What I want to talk about is this, y'all. Today, y'all follow me here, and let's see if you. What's up, Joe? I see you. What's up, Rodney? Appreciate you. Appreciate y'all popping in. Let me throw out my conspiracy. Appreciate you, Joe. Let me throw out my conspiracy. And you guys, like I said, I'm not right. It's just my thoughts. Your thoughts may challenge mine, but that's what makes up great conversation. So I open pushback. I always have. You guys know that about me. I enjoy it because that widens the conversation a little bit. Here's my conspiracy theory. I want y'all to think about this. When Kellen Moore got fired, one of the things that he let out, that he wouldn't let out while Kellen was there, he said that he wanted to run the football. They were different. Matter of fact, his quote was, and I quote, he said that Kellen Moore wanted to light the scoreboard up. And he wants to, he said that he wanted to protect his defense. Well, one of the ways is that You run the football, take time off the clock. Time of possession is important. But running the football just don't do that. You just not gonna line up from the 25-yard line and just run 18 times in a row. That it's the NFL. It's just not gonna happen. You have to pass the football a little bit. I believe what he was saying was this. This just me. I guess this is the first opportunity for pushback here. I believe that he wanted to time is really more time of possession. The only way that you can do that is by having first downs. That's what I'm gonna say. Whether that's by passing or running, long as you keep the ball, more first downs, that'll rest the defense. Not necessarily running the ball, because you can run the ball on first, second down, and then it'll be third down, but it'll be third down and 8. You have to pass the ball in. 3rd and 8 is hard in the NFL. So I believe it's more of some along the lines of making first downs, and making real substantial drives to rest the defense. And that's what all you keep hearing about Mike McCarthy saying, okay, want to run the ball. My brother Marlon, who's on here, highlighted something to me in our conversation a couple of weeks ago, that when you look at the Green Bay Pack offense that he led, do you guys remember Eddie Lacy? This is what he reminded me of. Do you remember the Dorsey Levens? For some of us that are older, do we remember those guys? Those guys were the running backs of the Green Bay Packers. You can't, if you remember Eddie Lacy, these guys were Pro Bowl running backs. These guys were 1,000-yard rushers. And even though they had the great Aaron Rodgers, a lot of that can be kind of tilted in conversation, because when you play in Green Bay, especially in November and December, you're going to have to run the ball playing there, because it's not conducive for a quarterback to drop back 45 times just to pass the ball. It just don't work like that in Green Bay. It's snow on the ground. It's less than, it's in the teens, and temperature sometimes is below. The wind is blowing. You have to run the football. You have to run it. And so I think that's where we kind of get mixed. But what if it's not like that? You see what I'm saying? What if it's not like that, and you got real good, playing in the dome like in Dallas, playing like that? The question becomes, would he be dedicated to the run like he was? I ain't gonna say dedicated solely, because as we all know, Rodgers still threw the ball, but he says he wants to run the ball. So I started looking at it. I started looking at what we've done in the off season, and this is where y'all gonna have to challenge me real quick, unless you agree with me. I've looked at what we've done in the off season, which I think was great. Okay, I think it was great what we've done. But here's what I'm trying to figure this out. When you add a Brandon Cooks to the team, that was a telling sign for me. Because when you add a Brandon Cooks to the team, and you have a CeeDee Lamb and a Michael Gallup as your receivers, and you have a Tony Pollard, and now you added a Ronald Jones, all of which are with the exception maybe of Gallup, CD is deceptively fast, because he seems to always get behind somebody. I think his 40 time was maybe about a 4.5. I mean, that in NFL standards, that's almost like, from the wide receiver position, that's almost like borderline now. 4.5 is fast. You know what I'm saying? But in NFL, Hey, Mike, I see you. What's going on? I'm looking at Brandon Cooks, and we all know how fast he is. When you also add in a Kevontae Turpin, who's again promised probably to get some work at wide receiver this year. When you look at Jones, who is fast as a running back, as a backup, we all know how fast Tony Pollard is, but there's a question mark there because we don't know what his leg look like. We don't know if he lost something. We don't know if he gonna run tentative. We don't know how he gonna act when he get hit. He plays a position where he's going to get hit in his legs. So we don't know where he really is. See what I'm saying? We just don't quite know that. Ronald Jones is a serviceable backup. He's a backup with some number one type tendencies. He's fast. He got some power in him. I ain't saying he's Zeke Elliott now. I'm not saying he's just physical, but I'm saying he is physical. And because he went to Kansas City last year, I don't even remember him getting on the field. And I said that to say he's pretty fresh. He should be pretty fresh. He won a Super Bowl last year by really not playing at all. So he's fresh. He almost got a year off. For real. He didn't play a lot. So I'm wondering, when I look at the offense, the tight end position, as of now, Jake Ferguson seems like he's going to be the man. Y'all help me out on this. I said all that to say this. When you look at the lineup, does this really look like a running football team to you? I don't see it. I'm sorry. They're not about to pound Tony Pollard next year with the leg. They're going to try to protect him as best as they can. He's not going to carry the ball 20 times. Starting off, that's not going to happen. I believe Ronald Jones going to get the rock a whole. Ronald Jones going to be a somewhat of a silent bell cow. And when you look at the running back position in particular, Tony Pollard coming off an injury, Ronald Jones pretty fresh, Davis, who evidently, once you have to add. I get it, but this is a conspiracy. I'm not saying I'm right, but I really don't think they really trust him like that. They just signed Rico Dow too. That's 4 running backs we got. 4. Somebody's gonna have to go to the practice squad. This just don't seem like to me. You don't go get a Brandon Cooks to bring him here and say, hey, we're going to try to make sure Dak Prescott throw the ball 25 times, and we're going to make sure that we get at least 25 to 30 running plays. We're bringing you here to be a good blocker in the run game. You don't go get a Brandon Cooks for that. You don't. You don't put on the field at the same time a Gallup, a Brandon Cooks, and a CeeDee Lamb out there, and then you talking about we finna pound the rock. You just don't. It don't sound right. Now I'm not knocking it, but you don't get those type of players. You don't go get that to be talking about we're trying our best to run the ball as if that really is the number one option. That we are just gonna pound the football like crazy. Let's throw in also the fact that we're dealing with an offensive line that, if the real truth be told, is almost, even though it's got some good names on there, It's a little shaky. When have we ever trusted Tyron Smith to be there, number one? When? See what I'm saying? This is hey Key, I see you. I'm saying when it's almost the old thing. If it walk like a duck and quack like a duck, it's not a kangaroo. Y'all understand what I just don't. It's not matching up with me yet. It's not matching up. We already got 4 running backs on the roster. And a lot of folks I want B. John Robinson from Texas. I get it. That'll be 5. Somebody will move to the practice squad. I get it. But I'm saying it got to be something else. And it don't necessarily have to be B. John Robinson. Ladies and gentlemen, let me say this. There are some more good running backs in the draft other than B. John Robinson now. I want you. B. John Robinson not the only one, y'all. He's not the only one, okay? There's some bold names there that can get the job done. The kid in UCLA, Zach, I can't start Zach. I don't even want to do the injustice. His first name is Zach or Zach something. I don't want to do him wrong. But the kid in UCLA, most of you guys know what I'm talking about. I just can't pronounce his name. I don't want to mess it up. He's good. He'd probably be there in the second round. I'm saying it's more than just Bijan Robinson. But if we're going to run the ball like we say we are, we better find some more weapons for running. Seriously, because what we got right now, it's serviceable. Tony Pollard is the real wild card in this. Because they're not just going to just dump a load on him. It's not going to happen. I mean, I'm serious. I can see, I can see Tony Pollard coming back, and that's if he's ready game 1. You do realize, y'all, appreciate you, Key. These people that you're saying she put down here, these are good running backs. These people right here. Chris Rodriguez from Kentucky, they're dynamic running back. These are some good people here. I mean, I know everybody got their eyes locked in Dallas about Bijan Robinson, and I'm saying, number one, he may not be there. So you got to go somewhere else, to maybe find one, and there's some good ones there. But it's just not matching up to me, y'all. Now, I'm not going to knock it because I'm going to say this. I'm saying we're going to pass the ball. That's what I'm saying. That's the kid. That's the kid I look for. Thanks, Key. I'm going to try to Zach Carbonnet. Is that right? Zach Carbonnet. I don't know if I pronounced it right, but that may be it. Zach Carbonnet. He's pretty good. Just run too high, but he got a lot of power in him. And see, here's the thing about Ronald Jones. This is the reason why I'm saying this. When you really look at Ronald Jones, what really is you need the reason why Zeke and Tony work so well because they were two different backs. Zeke could do some things that Tony just can't do, or his body can't hold up like that. Then of course, Tony did things that Zeke can't do no more. The speed, the lateral movement, Zeke just can't do that anymore. But Tony is nowhere near as powerful as Zeke was. So we know that works. I'm saying Ronald Jones is somewhat similar to the way Tony is. Malik Davis is the same as Pollard. Rico can do it all, but most people don't give him a chance. So if you're talking about running the football, I got to at least have the equipment to do it. I don't see the equipment. But what I do see is wide receivers that's going to scare defensive coordinators. I see that. And then, of course, you know, this is where the divide line happens as always with the Cowboy fan base. Depending on what you really feel about Dak Prescott as a viable killer on this team, it all depends on what you feel about him. The Cowboys think this about him. Okay? The Cowboys think this about Dak. They think he is the man. This is what I was taught, y'all. When I played ball, look, if you play video games, you know this. I don't care what sport you do. Here's the main rule. Put the ball in the hands of your best players. Don't care what sport it is. That rule goes everywhere. I said that to say this. The Dallas Cowboys believe that Dak Prescott is one of their better players. Tony Pollard is without a doubt one of the better players, but he's not gonna be. I don't care what he's getting paid. It's too many. It's just too much to put on him right now. Coming off a bad leg, he's not gonna be a bell cow. He's not. He's just, hey Terry, I see you. He's not. It's gonna be too many questions. Tony Pollard, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and fast forward a little bit. I've said this before, but let's fast forward. Tony Pollard will not get hit until week 1. He will not play any preseason game. We already know this. He will be limited in practice. We already know this. I mean, it's common sense. We're really not going to look. Let me throw this in. If that really is week 1 when he play, we don't know that yet. He hurt himself in the championship game. Man, when he played in the playoff game, that's only been what? Oh, I understand he's on track, but I'm saying like he did get hurt in the last game of the year. That wasn't too far back. You talking about an ACL and all that kind of stuff. Look, he's not gonna be that guy. He may play, but he ain't gonna be what we thinking he gonna be. And so the question becomes, I was cool with Ronald Jones. For those that came in, Ronald Jones, most people don't even understand. He just won a Super Bowl with Kansas City last year and didn't even hardly play. His legs are fresh. He's young. His legs are fresh. He can run the ball. He has burst. He can have a little pop. He ain't as powerful as Zeke is, but he runs with power. And he got speed. So, I mean, he's the best of both worlds. I love the pickup that we made there. But even if we just did that, and I think we're going to be leaning on him more, starting off. I believe we're going to be leaning on him more than we're going to be leaning on Tony Pollard. I believe that. I don't think Tony going to be, it's nowhere in the world he's going to be out there 100%. No way. And I wouldn't bring him back until he's 100%. I mean, we happy because we got Tony back, but really, what does that mean? So, I know the draft is there, and I just don't see Mike McCarthy. I don't believe him. I just don't. You got a makeshift offensive line. God bless him. Tyron Smith just won't go away. He just won't. They just gonna keep putting him on out there. If however many games he can get out of him, But when he goes down, what we got? I mean, I pray to God he don't go down, but I'm saying common sense tell you about Tyron Smith. We already know he can't last. So who gonna be our another offensive tackle? I mean, who gonna be our left guard? Because all you do is move Tyler back to tackle. Now we got a left guard. I mean, it just don't sound like he just going to be the running game guru. I believe it's going to be more of the same. I said all of that to say what I'm saying now. I think Mike McCarthy is playing a little poker. I don't believe he's going to be running the ball like he claims he is. He's going to run it. But it's not going to be like, like a culture change. It's just not going to happen. He's going to put that ball in the hands of it. Let's be honest right now. What is the strength of the offense right now? It's got to be receiver and the quarterback. It's got to be. It's not the running game. It's not the running game and the offensive line. It's not. That's what we want to be. But just like the strength of our defense is the secondary. The strength of the offense, as of right now, it's got to be the receivers. And you got to throw in the quarterback because that's how they're going to get the ball. It's not the running game. It's not. Not right now. If you told me I had 100% healthy Tony Pollard, I might change it just a tad. Just a tad. But it's the strength of our offense is wide receiver position and our quarterback. So if that's the strength of the team, I don't know where you gonna sell me that you're gonna be running the ball. It just don't it don't add up to me. Now y'all can, that's why I said I welcome pushback. I welcome. It just don't add up to me. I don't see it. And so what I'm saying is I believe that Dak Prescott is going to throw for about 4,000 as of now, unless I see something different. I believe that Dak Prescott going to throw for about 4,500 yards again. I believe there's a possibility that we might have 2 1,000-yard receivers this year. I believe it. Eastside, you're getting it all wrong, sir. We know that Brandon Cooks is not a first-team all-pro wide receiver. We're not. He is a tremendous, nice piece to the plan. That's what he is. He's a guy that can get you. If he almost got 1,000 yards with Avis Mills, whoever y'all quarterback was at Houston last year, what in the world you think he gonna get with Dak Prescott? Come on now. The man almost had over 760 yards with the team that y'all had last year. The track record shows that he also has multiple 1,000-yard receivers years wherever he went. I say it's a possibility that we have. Just 1 year, he said. Dak did lead the league in interception. That's 1 year. That is not his career. But I'm not going to entertain you anymore. You're a Cowboy troll. So we'll just regulate you to the chat room. I'll let everybody else argue with you in there. Brandon Cooks is not here to be Megatron or Justin Jefferson. We ain't here. He's not here to be the number one wide receiver in the league. He was never that anywhere else where he played. But what he is a nice, great piece to the offense. That's what he is. And I can see him getting 1,000 yards. I can see CeeDee Lamb getting 1,000 yards. I can see Michael Gallup getting about 800 to 1,000 yards. I can see that. I can see it because I believe that Mike McCarthy is going to get those type of chances. I just don't believe that I just don't see it running. I just don't. I don't. You got to show. And again, I'm going to wait until I see what we're lining up with. I told y'all. Now, when we got Brandon Cooks, I went from here So, but now I'm about right here. Unfold them arms. But right now, I'm about right here still. I waited till week 1 to see what we're lining up with before I say, okay, I can pretty much guess what this team gonna be. But as of right now, I don't quite believe that Mike McCarthy is talking about it really being a running football team. It just don't quite add up. It don't. What's up? What's up? What's up, Jane? I see you. Got a 49er fan in the house. Well, y'all, I appreciate y'all. Y'all just come in here. All y'all other teams, y'all just come in here. Y'all want to know what's going on with the Cowboys. It never fails. Worry about y'all team. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna be honest with you. As it stands right now, let me go and throw this in. I'm glad because when James Malone, a diehard 49er fan, when he came in here, they just I didn't got this in my note. Since he just came in, let me tell y'all this. It's just my honest opinion. I don't see the physicalness yet. This thing yet. I see better players, but I don't see that physicalness that is going to have to happen to beat a team like the 49ers. I see finesse. Finesse can win games. I'm not knocking. I'm just saying I don't see the grind and the real dog that I need to see. A flat out. See, when I say Brandon Cooks, you don't think physical. Just don't. When I say CD Lamb, you think a little bit physical because CD is physical. You see what I'm saying? When you say Tony Pollard, you don't think physical. You know what I'm saying? You just don't. When you say Ronald Jones, since he's the backup, he's never been known as the, he has elements of that in his game, but you don't see or think physical. See, that's that, and see, in order to beat a team like San Francisco, who when they line up, they just say, "We're gonna hit you in your mouth." What you gonna do about it? That's how you got to play them. You can't finesse your way out of it. I see the physicalness on our defense. Oh, we loaded with that. Oh, we good on D. But if Zach Martin, and it ain't a guarantee, we got to see how Terrence Steele is doing. Everybody's saying he's back. Is he? I mean, what is he? Is he really back? I don't know. I don't know how you're gonna respond to, but he's physical. Zach Martin is physical. I'll give Tyron Smith. No, Tyron Smith is physical. Tyler Smith is physical. I give it that. But I'm not saying it's not you can't win like that because you can. I believe that Mike McCarthy is going to do somewhat what he did in Green Bay. I believe we're going to see that 4 wide receiver set, not as the base now, not as the base, but I believe we're going to see a lot of it. And it's designed to make mixed match show up. And you're going to get that. Because, see, if you're telling me, I already got the dream scenario. You line up your 4 wide receiver set is CeeDee Lamb, Cooks, Michael Gallup, and Kevontae Turpin. You're going to have some mismatches somewhere. You can't guard it. You can't guard it. It's too much. And then that's the other thing. Now that you think about it. When you look at CD, his deceptors, tight speed. Brandon Cooks is fast. Michael Gallup was when he's right, he's a 4 or 5 guy. Okay. Then you throw in Kevontae Turpin, who just about dang near run a 4.2. That sounds like it sounds like a speed pinball machine type offense to me. So you got all this speed out there. I mean, I just don't see let's throw in Pollard. If Pollard is right, he's fast. I mean, we putting out a Greyhound type team next year. Look at all the speed. Look at all the speed that's going to be out there. Michael Gallup is probably going to be somewhat considered slow. He's going to be kind of like your possession guy. He's the separate. He can get behind you too. I mean, this is. I can't. That's my conspiracy. It's going to be a fast football team, both sides of the ball, but it ain't physical. It's going to be physical on defense. See, I'm some people like the pinball machine offense, and you score a lot of points. Kansas City is like that. See, when you say Kansas City, physical just don't enter your mindset because they play finesse. But they got one of the greatest to ever do it under center as a quarterback, and you can do it like that. You can do it like that when you got somebody like him. Yeah, but I just don't. I don't see the muscle yet, and we still got a little ways to go. Draft is coming up. We still got free agency going on. All of that is still happening, so it's not over yet. I'm just speaking from the standpoint of right now, as of today. I don't believe my coach McCarthy. I don't believe him. I don't believe him. And if it's your strength and your quarterback is ready to go, then so be it. We'll have them games where Dak will throw for 340, and have 3 touchdowns, and we'll be celebrating on that Monday morning or Thursday night or whatever. We'll be doing it. I can see it happening. They're going to put, with the acquisition of Cooks, trust me, they are going to put a lot of pressure on defensive coordinators. Defensive coordinators every single week are going to have to make a decision on where the focus of attention is, and at the same time sacrifice a problem that's probably going to be one-on-one with either Cooks or Lamb or Gallup, whichever one you want to go with. Because all of them can line up everywhere. And let's not forget that part. Gallup can line up in the slot. Gallup can line up outside. CD can do the same thing. And so can Cooks. So, really, come on now. I can see the same type of offense that Kellen Moore ran, just probably with a little bit more emphasis maybe on the design of the running game. I can see that. Hey, JD, I see you, brother. What you say, I think, might have been more of the running game and situational football. I agree with that 100%. Personnel on defense would dictate which way they mix it up. Whether they would draft a running back and get an old lineman as well in the draft. But I think it would all dictate on matchups. That's what we said earlier. Moore was more like Mike Martz, where he was forced to run the ball to keep the D honest. Carter would base it on the momentum game dictated by personal matchups, just my opinion. I believe that, JD, but I believe it's always going to point to the strength of the team. That's receivers. Because they're going to have mismatches everywhere, just about every week. Seriously. That's where the strength is going to be. It's coming from the wide receiver position. That's where all the matchups going to take place. The mismatches, I mean, I'm sorry. It's going to come from that. I just don't see, and I believe you're 100% right, that it's going to be talking about situational football, without a doubt. And that's where Kellen Moore on 3rd and 1 will run a double reverse, or, you know what I'm saying, or pass the ball, and all you had to do is run the ball. And I believe that's where we'll get better at, which of course will make a difference. But I can see a lot of the same thing. He's going to put the ball in the hands of his best players. His best players on offense as of right now are the wide receivers, which means that the quarterback got to get the ball to him. That sounds like throwing. I can see it. And ladies and gentlemen, let me say this. If you notice the title of my show, I said it's all on Mike and Dak. Because I really do believe that if the mismatches are with our wide receivers, then obviously you got to take advantage of that. Which means now it's in the hands of Dak Prescott. Let me tell you something about Dak Prescott and Mike McCarthy together. This year right here, gonna tell a whole lot. Particularly Dak. Because no matter how big of a fan you are of Dak Prescott, you cannot deny what it is. He did lead the league in interceptions last year. He did. I know some of those weren't his fault, and we became great justifiers of his interceptions. Some of them were legit. Some of them was him. A lot of them was him. As those are the facts. And the facts are still, as a Cowboy fan, that there are games that he just has not won yet. The facts are he destroys the NFC East. That can be backed up easily by looking at it, picking it up. It's just the truth. He destroys the NFC East. And then when he goes against a physical defense, gets shut down. He has not won, quote unquote. He beat Tampa last year in the playoffs. That was a big one for him. He did it on the road. Had a huge game. He did. He was missing one or two plays from taking the 49ers out. But here's the thing, he didn't get it. And so the narrative on him is that it all depends on who he playing, what you gonna see from him. And this has been a 4 to 5 year conversation that has not been shut down yet, because simply Dak hasn't done what a lot of people think that he is capable of doing. So look, you lost Amari Cooper, a quote unquote Dak friendly type of wide receiver. When I say that, y'all know what that means. That means he's a route runner. Dak works well with route running wide receivers, not 50-50 ball, jump ball type receiver. That's just not that. He's not that kind of quarterback. He needs precise route running, which is a lot of quarterbacks. He's not the only one. He needs that. And you're going to have to get it done. Because you got Cooks now, who's an excellent route runner. We know what CD brings to the table. We know what Gallup is. Jake Ferguson, I believe, is going to have a big year at tight end. And they ain't counting if they draft one. There's going to be some pretty good tight ends there in the first round and the second round. It just be interesting to see if they add another weapon for Dak like that, which I really believe they are. But when you start looking at that, Dak is gonna have a lot of pressure on him because everybody gonna be saying, "Look, they gave you what you needed. Now they gave you Cooks. That your Amari replacement. There you go. Everybody complained about Zeke not having it no more. Everybody gonna say, well, he gone now, so hey, can't blame Zeke no more. You can't do that. There's gonna be a lot of eyes on Dak this year. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. And he going to do it this year. Because truly, I'm telling y'all, especially with the way the NFC is built right now, Dallas Cowboys are, I told y'all last week, since Aaron Rodgers is pretty much look like he's going to the Jets. Well, when you look at the NFC, let's do it again for those that weren't here last show. When you look at the NFC, let's just start with our division. I got to do it, Eastside. I got to do it because it's the truth. Could it be that Dak Prescott is the best quarterback in the NFC? Y'all don't believe it? Let's go down the list. NFC East. The argument is Jalen Hurts. I get that. If you want to go for 1 year going against a combined career, all right. So that means if some of y'all gonna say Jalen Hurts after 1 year, okay, I'm not gonna say that. But I say he's better than Jalen Hurts. He's better than Sam, whoever his name is in Washington. We know that. He's better than Daniel Jones. So he's the best quarterback in the NFC East. All right. Let's go to the NFC South. The NFC South is Tampa Bay. That's Baker Mayfield. Dak is better than Baker Mayfield. Carolina, they're going to pick C.J. Stroud, a rookie. Dak is better than C.J. Stroud. That's 2. New Orleans, Dak is better than David Carr. That's 3. Atlanta, the kid from Cincinnati a couple years ago, Ritter. Dak is better than the whole NFC South division. I just gave you 2 divisions now. Let's go to the West. NFC West. Purdy or Trey Lance, whoever it is in San Francisco, Dak is better than those guys. Seattle, Dak is better than Geno Smith. Okay. Who else? The Rams. I don't know if Stafford is playing or not. I don't know if he's going to retire. I'm not sure his elbow is where it really needs to be. I don't know that, but irregardless of that, and I'm even saying this even though Stafford got a Super Bowl ring, that's just 1 year. Dak has been better than Matthew Stafford. That's okay. There you go. That's 1 more in the West. And what am I missing? Seattle. I said the 49ers. I said the Rams. Somebody else I'm missing in the West. Y'all help me real quick. NFC West. Seattle, San Francisco, Arizona. Thank you. Dak Prescott is better than Kyler Murray. See what I'm saying? I'm going down the whole NFC now. Watch this. NFC South did that. NFC West, NFC East, NFC North. Aaron Rodgers is gone. Gonna be gone. Dak Prescott is better than Jordan Love. He's better than Detroit's quarterback. What's the boy name? Y'all know what I'm talking. Good Lord, I forgot. Goff. Jared Goff. He's better than Jared Goff. Listen, I don't care how video game-ish the boy from Chicago is. Look, that he's better than him. Yes, he's better than him. And then we got lastly, is it Chicago, Detroit, Green Bay, and God help me, NFC North. Detroit, Chicago, Green Bay. Help me out. Help me. Whoever he is, Dak better than that. Minnesota. Thank you. Dak Prescott, as we all know, is better than Kirk Cousins. So I just proved to y'all. The only somewhat argument that somebody really gonna say is Philadelphia, and you're gonna do 1 year of Jalen Hurts over a career. You're gonna say in 1 year he's better than Dak Prescott. Nah, I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that. He's not better than Dak Prescott. He got a better team at the time than Dak Prescott, but he's not better than Dak. He just had 1 good year. So when you look at the NFC, the whole NFC, there's a lot of pressure on Dak Prescott because he is the best quarterback in the NFC. All the firepower as far as quarterbacks is in the AFC now. All the great ones, if you want to say, they're over there. Dak Prescott has got a lot of pressure on him. He's the best quarterback in the NFC, and he got to show it. If he's not the best quarterback, he's definitely, look, if you say Hurts is, after 1 year, you got to come to Dak. And after that, if you that guy, look, you got it all back. You got Cooks, you got a speed threat, you got CD who's dominant. Gallup will be better this year, not injured. You're gonna have Jake Ferguson, who I think gonna have a huge year if he can stay healthy. You got a running back, and you got a couple of good running backs back there. I understand it's all dependent on the offensive line. I get it, but they're serviceable enough. Last year, as bad as a lot of people were. What's up, Rico? I see you on Power. As much as everybody was talking about the makeshift line, guess what? Another fact that can't be denied. They won 12 games last year with a makeshift line, with the injuries, with Steele gone, with switching up Tyler Smith everywhere, with Tyron Smith being not there, with Jason Peters' old tail there. I look, they won 12 games. So let's not act like we won 4-12. Huh? He had that many big games though, JD. See, 1 year you can't say you got to do it again. If he had that same year again, JD, then I got to talk. Then I have to shift just a little bit. He did it for 1 year. He didn't do it, He had a great year last year. I believe that if he wouldn't have, sat out them games where he got hurt, he probably would have been the MVP of the league this year. That's 1 good year. Just like Geno Smith, 1 good year. Comeback player of the year, 1 good year. 1 good year don't erase the whole thing. As far as career goes, and Dak has been in just a little bit longer than Hurts. 1 good year. Gotta do it again before I give him that type of credit. Now, y'all can give him that credit. I say he's dangerous. I give you that. He's dangerous. Yeah. He's a dual threat, no doubt. He had a great year. He's gotten better in his passing game. It helps, though, when you got an A.J. Brown and a Devontae Smith on the same, and a good tight, just like a good tight end that they had. I give him credit. He did well last year. No question about that. Jalen Hurts did. You got to do it again. You got to do it more than 1 year for me. And I can't say you better than this guy and this guy and this guy when you only did it 1 year. I just don't think you're better than Dak. I don't. I've seen too much from Dak to say that at least he's better than Jalen Hurts. I've seen too much. I saw one good year. Jalen Hurts was better than Dak Prescott last season. That's all I'm going to give him. That's all I'm going to give him. He was better than Dak Prescott last year. I'll give him that. He was. By miles. He was. Exactly. I agree. Huh? He was better. He was better than Dak Prescott last season. You'll be a fool to say that he was not. You'll be wrong if you said he wasn't. He was better. But as far as he been in the league more than 1 year. I say he took a leap last year. He did. He took a big leap. That don't mean he better than Dak Prescott. No, sir. Can't give it to him. He only played in one big game. And that's what JD, I think you said there earlier. He really only played in one big game. He ain't been nowhere. The year that he did start, when he did take over, Philly didn't even make the playoff, if I'm not mistaken. Or they did, and I think Brady beat them or something like that. So, nah. Can't give him that credit. Can't give him that credit. They went to the Super Bowl. That's a great accomplishment to get his team there, without a doubt. You can't take that from him at all. They got to where we ain't been. So, it says that he's gotten further than Dak. He's not better than Dak, but he's gotten further than Dak already. It didn't take him as long. So that don't mean that he's better, though. You see what I'm saying? It don't mean he's better. He just got there. It took a team effort, too. Let's not act like he was, just shotgunning his way all the way through. They had a good defense. They had a great running game. Starboy, the legend. Starboy Payne in the house. What's up? Man, I appreciate you popping in, man. You my guy. Starboy Payne is in the building. The Cowboy legend, Cowboy podcast legend himself. What's going on? But he's not better than Dak. Dak Prescott right now, as constructed, is the best quarterback in the NFC. And because he is, there is a certain expectation that comes with being the best quarterback in your conference. So it really is all on Dak. The defense, let me tell you something. No, he just Hurts just had a great year. He did. I'm not gonna go against the young brother like that. He had a great year. He had a better year last season than Dak Prescott. He did. But he ain't better than Dak. He ain't better than Dak. I got too much evidence. I got too much evidence to say that. Dak Prescott is the best quarterback in the NFC. I just went down every team. Told y'all. The only argument might, for those that just leave in 1 year, is Jalen Hurts. That's it. Everybody else, Dak is better than. And I believe, Mike, let me go back to the original statement. I believe that because of that, and because the Cowboys believe that no different with see, when it comes to Dak, exactly. When it comes to Dak, the fan base is divided. Here's what the Cowboys think, though. The Cowboys believe that Dak Prescott is the man. They believe it. They believe that Dak Prescott can win them a Super Bowl. And when you talking about that, that means that you are the guy. You're the guy. They believe. Don't make no difference what we think. Don't make no difference if you can't stand him. No matter if you think he suck. Don't make no difference. It don't make no difference. Appreciate you, kid. Don't make no difference what you believe as a fan base. Don't make no difference if you think that if you believe and that he's the 17 interception type guy, whatever. Look, it don't make no difference. The Dallas Cowboys inside that building believe that this dude is the dude. They paid him like he was the dude. They rave about him like he's the dude. Whenever you hear an interview, why they believe that one of the very first names, even though I wouldn't call his name out in the top. I remember on one of the shows, I told y'all when we list the best Dallas Cowboy offensive players, Dak Prescott wasn't even in my top 4 or 5. I'm serious. I called out maybe about 5 getting that names on there. But what I said don't count. That don't mean I think Dak Prescott is suck or anything like that. I just said who are our best offensive players, linemen included, who are our best offensive players last year. I counted about 4 names before I got to Dak. I did. It don't make no difference what the fan base thinks. Dak Prescott right now, is the best quarterback in the NFC right now. All you got to do is pull up a team on your computer, look at who the quarterbacks are, and you tell me what Dak Prescott line is. And all I'm saying is, when you're coaching, most of us in this chat group, have played football on some type of level. If you play football on Madden, if you play football on electric football game back in the old days, you put the ball in the hand of your best player. You crazy to believe that Mike McCarthy is saying, hey, we want to run the ball. We want to run the ball. And everybody in Dallas is all of a sudden thinking that we're going to be running the ball like Tennessee do with Derrick Henry. It's not going to happen because the strength of your team is the wide receiver position right now as we speak. The strength on the offensive side of ball, on the offensive side of the football, on your team right now are the wide receivers, which means the quarterback is in that same conversation because he's the one that got to throw the football. And Dak Prescott is more than capable of doing it. The strength of, let's just make it even more clear. The strength of your team, what's up, Buddha? The strength of your team right now on offense is not the running game. When the addition of Brandon Cooks and CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup there, your strength of your offensive team right now is constructed. Things could change before it's all over. But as of right now, the strength is the passing game. And you can't convince me, and I don't care what Coach McCarthy say, there's nowhere in the world, and JD kind of cleared it up in the chat earlier. It may be situational things. The things we used to complain about with Kellen Moore, 3rd and 2. Why you line up in shotgun? 3rd and 1. Why you line up in shotgun? Why you passing? Why you run a double reverse? Why you run a bubble screen? Why you doing all that? That part I don't think Mike McCarthy is going to have a problem with. I believe 3rd and 1, he running the ball. And if he don't get it then, 4th and 1, because you know he go for it on 4th down. He running the ball. The way he going to be looking at it, you got 2 downs to get 1 yard. And he going to run it. That's something that Kellen struggled with. I think that part, I believe that part is about to be corrected, and that part is going to add time possession for us. It's going to keep the defense rested. It's going it give us another chance for the linemen to lay on guys, knock them off the ball instead of line up in shotgun all the goddamn time. You ain't got to run no You ain't got to run on no 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. You ain't got to run no fake to the running back out of shotgun and option play. Man, line up and run somebody over. You ain't got them but a yard. That's what I believe Coach McCarthy is going to do a whole lot better than Kellen Moore. And that very well may be the difference between us winning another 2 more games. I believe that. But even in that, you still can't tell me. I don't care what Coach McCarthy say. That wide receiving core is going to be a problem for defenses. Who you going to guard? Who you going to take away? Who you going to double? You can't double everybody. Somebody going to kill you. And you can't guard all that. You can't guard it. That's going to be a matchup nightmare for defensive coordinators. It's just like it was, Jameson. It's just like it was when Mari Cooper was here. It is just like what it was when Amari Cooper was here. You couldn't guard it all. You couldn't. I'm just talking about the wide receiver, which is going to open up lanes for the running backs, the tight ends, without a doubt. That's why Schultz had the yards he had. Look who he was playing with. Yeah, he's going to be wide open. Jake Ferguson going to get some of the same thing. Jake Ferguson a little bit more athletic than Dalton. It's going to be a problem. I'm telling y'all. I just don't, I think it's going to be a more of a Kellen Moore, even though it's West Coast offense. Okay, that's going to be there. It's going to be a little bit of a lot of Kellen Moore offense, but it's going to be more controlled because Mike McCarthy got a little bit better handle on the running game aspect of football. He does. And that very well may be all we need. I'm serious, y'all. Mike McCarthy, if y'all go back and look when they started talking about him running plays and calling plays, he was talking about he want to be the running. He want to run the ball. Yeah, but you just added Brandon Cooks. You ain't bring Brandon Cooks here to be a pass blocker, a running blocker. Huh? You ain't brought you brought Brandon Cooks here to be a threat. CeeDee Lamb already a threat. Gallup is a threat. You ain't bringing these guys in talking about we just want to run the ball like we got Derrick Henry. No, that is no. You ain't fooling me. And I ain't got no problem with it. I want to kill wherever the matchup is. Long as my quarterback is good, I'll roll with you. I ain't saying Dak Prescott. Don't get me wrong, y'all. I ain't saying Dak Prescott throw the ball 35 times a game. I ain't saying that. I'm not saying that at all. I don't want that. I don't want Dak throwing 35 times. I just in 30, 34, 33 times, 35 times and up a game. I don't want that. I don't want that. Because I seen what happened when he do that. See? I don't want that. But I ain't saying he need to throw the ball 17 times a game. The matchups are outside. The matchup problem is with the wide receiver position. Like I told you before, and I'm done because I'm starting to repeat myself. Mike McCarthy in Green Bay, for those that have kind of studied how he does, he loves that 4 wide receiver set. He loves that. So, based off that, can you imagine CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, Michael Gallup, and watch this, a Kevontae Turpin as your 4 wide receiver set? What? Cooks run a 4-3, Turpin run about a 4-2, Gallup run about probably a 4-5 right now. Lamb run about a 4-5. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh yeah, Buddha. It's let me get out the way. Maybe y'all can see that. It says me, I'm a doctrine. That's a doctrine degree of Dallas Cowboy football. That's what it say. I'm Dr. Brooks. You understand? I'm Dr. Brooks. Dr. Brooks. That's my doctrine. I've been to Cowboy University. I'm a doctor now and then. I just don't brag on it. Usually I do this, I have my green screen up and had the background, but that's what's back there. I just didn't have time to do it. I was lazy. So, Oh, I forgot about that, Joe. They're going to pump up Jalen Tolbert. They're going to pump up Tolbert, too. Thank you, Joe. You see what I'm saying? I'm just saying that I don't even want Jalen Tolbert on the 4 wide receiver. I want to hurt a defense. I want Turpin out there with Cooks and Gallup and Lamb out there. That's what I want. There's no way in the world you're gonna guard it. No way. That's what I want. If we're gonna do it, let's go on and do it. You see what I'm saying? If we're gonna put pressure on somebody, let's just go on and put the pressure on. Give me Turpin, Cooks, Lamb, and Gallup on the 4 wide receiver set, which McCarthy loves to run. Man, let me tell you something. Huh? And look, it gets better. Because if I got 4 wide receivers, that means I gotta have a running back in the back, right? That's Pollard. Give me Pollard. Oh my God. Give me Pollard as the running back. And those 4 wide receivers I just named. We're gonna put pressure on folks. Let's go ahead and do it. Come on now. That's the strength of your team. Oh. Y'all can see this. I know you can see it. And Dak Prescott, as somebody said earlier, as crazy as it may sound, I thought I'd never say it. I thought I would never say it. He said with all that. But Buddha, they're going to pump up Jalen Tolbert. Because, we don't give up on guys that we should give up on. And I'm not saying we should give up on Jalen Tolbert, but Tolbert couldn't even get on the field last year. He was a healthy scratch, couldn't get in the game, but they're gonna sell us this year and say, oh my God, what a jump he's made. He's been working with Dak all year. He's been at his house working with him. And Dak has said he's ready to go. And he's ready. That's what's gonna happen. And so we might not draft one in the 4th round. Or later. I would not be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if we draft another wide receiver late. A lot of people think we're gonna pick, in the 3rd round or maybe even the 2nd round if a certain dude is there. We might go that route. I don't see it because the wide receiver room is. Let's look at it real quick. Cooks, Lamb, Gallup. That's 3. Tolbert is going to be in that mix. And how about this one, Buddha? How about this one? Everybody keep forgetting about Semi for Yako, who's the kid that's 6'4", I believe, from Stanford and run a 4.4, 40. Did he run a 4.3? Who was hurt all last year? He's coming back. So I'm saying the wide receiver room is lit. For real. And whoever you draft, they're not going to jump the top 3 receivers. You see what I'm saying? If you drafted the guy in the 1st round, they're not jumping any of our receivers, the top 3. Gallup ain't finna go back to the bench. Lamb and Cooks not. So I'm saying you're not. That's why I'm agreeing with you. We're not gonna draft high because they're not gonna jump those guys. And even if you go on with the future, Cooks ain't going nowhere in the next couple of years. CD ain't going nowhere. I was gonna have to sign him. Gallup maybe. I'll take that back. Gallup maybe. Gallup maybe. Tolbert, depending on what he do this year. But the wide receiver room is loaded. I don't know. It's a scary. It's gonna be a scary offense. Let me just say that. I just hope Dak Prescott ready. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, phone line is open. Eastside Harold, don't even try it. Me gonna stop you before you even get started. I already know I ain't got time for the trolls. I ain't got time for that. Buddha, the defense is just loaded. I don't even have to talk about the defense. The defense is loaded. The only thing we need to talk about defense is defensive tackle. That's it. Well, it'd be nice to have another linebacker as well. I give you that, but we can go play football right now with the linebacker crew that we have now.
Call from
Coach Marv.
My guy, Coach Marv in the building. Coach Marv is in the building. What's up, Coach?
Big Show, how's it going, man?
We're doing the best we can over here, man.
I hear that, man.
I just ain't drinking the Kool-Aid of Coach McCarthy and all this running. I just can't do it.
Well,
I
know I had gave some concerns about that. That's before we signed Jones, because I had put on Twitter the running backs when they called Jones. I put on Twitter the running backs that I would like us to consider, and Jones was one of those running backs along with Cook, Hunt, Jones, my man Damian Harris. He had went to Buffalo at that time, so he was off the board. And I also had the other Tampa Bay running back, Leonard Fournette, on that list, as well as Brandon Robinson from the New York Jets that he had signed with a team also. So Ronald Jones was one of the guys on my list, because Ronald Jones has had success and had carries and has been a number one running back. So and he runs well inside the tackle, and he runs hard.
Yeah.
I think what happened with him, he was brought in to Kansas City this year. People look at Kansas City last year, and this when we talk about running back, Kansas City carried about 5 running backs on their team, even though what we talk about, they're a past team. When they brought in that rookie, they didn't bring him in. They drafted him in the late round. They didn't expect him to make it, but they didn't bring him in to be the bell cow guy.
No.
They had Clint Isaac, the guy at LSU that started for the last couple of years that ran real well. They had they brought Robert Jones in, as well as they had McKenzie. Yeah. And McKenzie was one of those run the ball kind of sweeps, run. Yeah, and he ran the ball, but he wasn't no high carry guy. Plus, he had some bursts. Some games he did have high carry. Mm-hmm. And the runner, Isaiah, he got hurt. Mm-hmm. He got hurt a couple times during the year. So the young guy kept getting carries, and down in the later in the season, he became more of their bell cow type back. But still, they still didn't give it to him all the time. But he was the one that got the most carries because he was a very tough runner. So that's I didn't want us. I was skeptical if we was going into the season with not getting a veteran running back. Then I would have said, wait a minute, what's going on? And then when they found Rico Dowdle, I don't think Rico Dowdle problem has been, since he was here at the University of South Carolina, always been a great running back. He always stayed hurt. Yeah. So when they signed those two guys, and if they drafted a running back, that does tell me some signs of what they're going. And what I want to, I had some words about it, but I had talked to a good friend of mine that a good friend of mine here that worked with me and did some coaching with me, and I talked to him. And we were talking about that, and I was like, man, I don't see this. And then we were talking about where this team is going and what you think. We were trying to figure out the great relationship between McCarthy and Dan Quinn, where this is going. And I still see Seattle. I still see the plan of Seattle football. Mm-hmm. I see it all. It's written all over this. With even going with Schottenheimer, who was in that mix, bringing the offensive line coach that was in that mix. I see Seattle all together, and I see the battles between Seattle and Green Bay at that particular time. I see a mixture of the Seattle and Green Bay together. And I have to disagree with you on one thing. McCarthy offenses are based off 2 tight ends. Mm-hmm. They may run 4 wides here and there, but McCarthy teams are always carried 4 to 5 tight ends. Always. He loves tight ends.
He did it last year. He did it last year.
Yeah, they love tight ends. And he always had a fullback on his team. So there wasn't too many wide open sets, because if you think about it, I think people don't really realize that San Francisco runs a West Coast offense.
Yeah, quick.
That's their base offense. The Rams run a West Coast offense. Now it has evolved a little bit, but they play tight ends. They both of those teams. I know San Francisco carry fullback, and they utilize those guys, and they can say we can utilize everybody in the passing game. But I do want, when we talk about we got Brandon Cooks, I think this is a misconception what Brandon Cooks was. I go back to last year when we were looking for a wide receiver. The Cowboys went into the year before saying, okay, CeeDee Lamb is going to be a brand new number 1 wide receiver. Mm-hmm. We raise him to the mantle of 1, and that was true. They say, well, they don't need to have another number 1 wide receiver, because CeeDee Lamb is going to be a number 1 wide receiver. Mm-hmm. But their thought was that Michael Gallup was going to be better, or was going to be a number 2 guy. Mm-hmm. I believe the Cowboys and Mike McCarthy says what they see in Michael Gallup, regardless healthy or not healthy, he's a number 3 wide receiver. Mm. And I just don't think people want to hear that.
Yeah,
I don't think people see it. Mm-hmm. Don't want to admit it. But Michael Gallup is a 40, 50 catch guy, 600, maybe 600 yards. But he may get you more touchdowns because of his physicalness in the red zone.
Yeah, he can jump.
But he would never be a number 2 or nowhere close to a number 1 receiver. Mm-hmm. So what they had to do was they had to go out and find them a number 2 wide receiver. Mm-hmm. That's what they did. They found a number 2 wide receiver. And then here I feel the Seattle thing comes in again. Brandon Cooks reminds me of a small, fast, wide receiver that can get down the field like Tyler Lockett. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's what he reminds me of. That's the type of routes that he runs. Mm-hmm. Deep routes, can get down the field, explosive wide receiver to get down the field.
Yep. Go inside, and now you got inside and out.
There you go, and you're gonna get him down the field. You're not gonna be a possession receiver with him, because there's not gonna be a lot of balls that we're talking about going to the wide receivers, because you're going to target your running backs more than 70 times, because there's going to be a lot of drop-off passes. There's going to be a lot of swing passes to the running backs. That's a West Coast staple. So you're not going to get 70 targets to your running back. I'm looking for targets in probably about 120 targets to your running backs, which is commonplace in the West Coast offense, where you're going to have more balls going to your running back, because one thing they're going to find, those drop-offs that get 6-7 yards, maybe more, are going to be just those passes to them. Mm-hmm. So I see this here. And then when Mike McCarthy talked about our defense, this defense is trending and being built like that. And this is where you cannot be too much of a pass-happy, just throwing the ball around, because then you hurt your defense by being too fast-paced, but you don't hurt your offense by not being explosive. I think we're going to be explosive, but I don't think we're going to be, in that case, And my theory would be solidified if we do draft a running back, not in the first couple of rounds, but if we do draft a running back in the fourth round, and with these, then you got 5 running backs on the roster, and then we're gonna know really when the roster is over if they carry 5 running backs, 4 to 5 running backs, and 4 tight ends. They're only going to carry 5, maybe 6 receivers. Because the numbers don't add up for you to carry more receivers if you carry that additional, maybe 2 running backs or that additional 4th tight end. The numbers, because you're going to carry the same amount of linemen, because you got to have those. But that's going to tell you where this offense is going, where they're going to depend on the collection of tight ends catching the ball, running back, and CeeDee Lamb, and people putting them in their spots. So I would believe that what he was really saying was, yes, we're going to, run the ball, but we're going to use all our assets. Because if you look at the Cowboys last year, we brought in T.Y. Hilton. We thought he was really good, right? We thought he still had some juice. But don't you know, big time, T.Y. played about 6 games, right?
Yep.
You know how many targets he got in 6 games?
You didn't get that many.
7 targets.
Yeah, you didn't get that many now.
So this means this offense was just targeting the same people over and over again, and we were leaving guys that could possibly be weapons. We didn't focus our offense on the total part. We just drilled in on giving Dalton Schultz 90 targets, which he almost got 90 targets. Giving CeeDee Lamb 150 targets, and everybody else. We gave Ferguson. Ferguson had 19. He had 20 targets with 17 catches.
Yeah.
So every time you target a guy, he caught the ball, but during a whole course of the year, and I think he played 15 games, because 2 games he was out with concussion. But he played 15 games, and you only gave him that amount of targets. And I believe McCarthy said, well, listen, I got a host of players that are budding that probably could give us a lot of production, as well as the kick returner who had 2 targets the whole year.
It was horrible.
Right. So now, if I just spread this offense around, and we know when Dak is really cooking, there's a lot of people catching the football. Yeah. But I think sometimes, in the Kellen Moore offense, it was a scheme-related offense where it almost said the ball should go here, Dak, before you snap the ball. Yeah. Because I'm so smart, I know this guy gonna be open. And when that did come up, the other routes was not producers to get open, because everybody knew the ball was going to CeeDee Lamb. Everybody knew the ball on offense was going to Dalton Schultz. Yeah. And when that wasn't there, now you got to turn around and guys got to get creative because they already covered. You didn't have those guys to do that, which you don't want to build an offense around that type of stuff, because that's going to usually work. Because regardless of how great you think the wide receivers, those guys on defense are pros too.
Yeah.
They get paid. So that's why I think we're going here. And I don't like the thing about the offensive line. People just talking about what the offensive line. So my question to everybody is, who on the offensive line do you want to replace that you don't?
Hello.
It's built for him to be a swing, because I believe the conversation with him was, okay, Tyron, we're not going to pay you $13 million just without incentives if you're a swing tackle. If you're a swing tackle, but you have to play because of injury, and you have to play the majority of the snaps and the majority of the year and do full-time work, all your incentives are going to kick in, and you still get $13 million. But if you just playing a couple of games and you just here and there, you're gonna get $7 million.
Yeah.
And that's how it goes. And I believe when Tyron agreed to that, I don't think it's a whole, he's gonna go too many more years. But I think he agreed that, hey man, I don't want to be pressed to go 17 weeks, but I know I probably could go a game or two for you.
Yeah.
So now you got to draft a tackle in this draft or a guard in this draft, and we always understand it's all over the NFL. Guys draft guys as linemen and linemen start. That's one we always think it ain't the hard, but if you draft a quality lineman, you can get him in there and he can play. So I see Seattle being built here because Schottenheimer worked well with the play action run game and he was very creative in his run game when he was with Seattle. And Russell Wilson cooked in that offense.
He did.
And I see they ran an offense that makes Dak Prescott Russell Wilson like where he can cook with not all the pressure being on him, because regardless of how and they can get him to understand, like, regardless, if y'all win, you're gonna get all the glory. If you throw for 110 yards or 900 yards in the game, you still gonna get the credit because we're gonna still say, oh, the quarterback won the game.
Yeah.
Which we all, people know football, no quarterbacks don't win games by themselves.
No.
But this is where I see it, and I see the union between Mike McCarthy and Dan Quinn, because you can't tell me big time if I was Dan Quinn and I know how my defense is set, and I know what offense made my defense turn into the Legion of Boom. How the time possession, we didn't have to play as many plays. When we pressed teams the pass the ball, because we control the ball by getting first down with short passes, striking deep, controlling the ball. That made my defense epic in Seattle, and I got the building blocks of that type of defense here. And McCarthy knows it because he played against it. If you're trying to talk about complementary football, let's union that, because that type of style of play was dominant for 4 years in the NFL. Two Super Bowls.
Yeah.
So if you can't tell me that that's not the agreement between them to say, hey, what can I do? What kind of offense can I run to make your defense epic? Because I know it's a top 10, but if I take a lot of less plays from you and I force teams to throw because they're losing time possession, I can even improve yours, and you can make my offense better because you're going to get more turnovers, and you're going to make it easier for me to score because you're going to give me short fields.
Yeah. So,
but I just think where we get in trouble is the fans want the pass. Some of them talk crazy about Kellen, but they just want it to be thrown around. They want the 400-yard passing. They devalue running back. They devalue it. And when you say that I'm going to run the football, you get the inside the building, the 105.3 and all this. Now they start to try to tear down Tony Pollard, talking about when we could have got rid of him.
Yeah.
They want to just get rid of that because that's not exciting.
Yeah.
But winning people is exciting.
Mm-hmm.
But losing and having an exciting game and having somebody to blame because you just put it all on the quarterback and then we come up short and then we have something to blame, that's not exciting to me. But I believe that those two coaches, and I'll call them co-head coaches, will devise a plan to make them together. So the two things, again, big time, if they draft a running back, and when the end of this roster, if they carry more than 3 running backs on this team, and they carry 4 tight ends, and they don't carry as many wide receivers, that's going to show me something.
Yep.
Simeon Fehoko, remember this though. Back in the early, before training camp last year, Mike McCarthy talked about Simeon Fehoko having a vision of Simeon Fehoko being a hybrid tight end.
Yeah.
Kellen Moore might not see that vision because he's not going to use no tight end but Dalton Schultz. He ain't going to throw the ball to Dalton Schultz. That's it. He proved that in the last 3-4 years, right?
Yeah.
But when he played that, 220-some pounds, I think Simeon Fehoko is 225.
Yeah.
If my philosophy is what they're gonna go in their roster, you better get some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Because really, the only way he's gonna make this team, if that offense is running, I'm not saying it's gonna be totally run, but if this offense is running like 65 plays a game, which I think he can do, and we eat up time possession, there's gonna be 25. There's gonna be 30 passes with that. It may be 30 passes, but a lot of those passes gonna go to the running back. But there's not gonna be no 50 pass game. And if there's not a lot of receivers and everybody's getting the ball, because there's only one football, if Singer want to make this team, he better return that. He better be that fourth tight end, that hybrid guy.
Yep.
Because so the room is too deep for him to make it. So that's why I think all these point that way. But I think our fans want to push it to the pass so bad that they want to get another wide receiver. People out there talking about, oh, well, man, we still could trade for what's the guy from Arizona? Yeah, let's go and trade for him too. And yeah, let's get DeAndre. And then when Odell come out, when he said it, oh man, let's go. There's only one football. And if they run this right and they use their tight ends, both of them they can catch, and they use their running backs in the passing game more than they did last year, there's enough balls for these guys to catch.
No.
You just got to get guys that say they know their role, right, and be dominant in their role. If Coach Rowland is getting big plays, it might not be but 4 or 5 big plays in the game. But he said, hey, this is my job, and he make those 4 or 5 catches that are big plays, and we win the game, he may not have 1,000 yards. But if he playing in big-time games and making big-time plays, he's happy. Because getting 1,000 yards and being like you at Texas and getting 1,000 yards and losing the majority of your games ain't worth a hill of beans.
Yeah.
So that's why I see it. Hopefully that's the direction it's going. But check those couple things out big time, and then you really will know. And don't worry about Tony Pollard being back. He had a fibula problem. He had an injury with a fibula. That's an 8-week type thing after surgery. He should be well ready for the year. That's wasn't no ligament. It was a fibula. And they had the surgery back then. He'll be way advanced and still right now is already working out. He's already working out with our knee brace. So and it's easier for a lineman to come back from an ACL than it is a running back or a skill position. The only thing he got to get that lateral movement and get that strength back. Not saying he might be ready, but it's great signs for him coming back because he's already working and getting some movement in it. And we about 4 or 5 months out, he should be ready.
Appreciate you, Coach. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you, man.
All right. Well, as I said before, it's not over yet. The jury is still out on what this team is going to be. I've just said, as of right now, as we speak, we still got a whole draft to go. I mean, the team is nowhere near where it's going to be, and you still may sign some other folks. I was just saying, as of right now. And maybe, hey, Tori, I see you. How you doing? As of right now, I don't see it. But once the draft is over, and there are tell signs, and we're really not going to know really what we're talking about now until week 1. When when you know what the roster is, the 53 that will go out there and play on week 1. Will it be more tight ends? Last year we did run 4 tight ends a whole lot. Everybody forget about Sean McKeon, who was there, who played actually. We had Hendershot, we had Schultz, we had Henderson, but we also had Sean McKeon. So he did carry 4 tight ends, as Coach Maher just said. That's what the question is going to be. I really don't think it's a question because Coach Marv is right. He did that a whole lot at Green Bay. I got know a couple of guys that he used to have. They ran the ball. They did, but they had to, considering the division they were in, the weather, of course, that Green Bay in December, January, all of that kind of stuff. You that has to factor in. You got to do it. But we will see. As of right now, I don't see it. Based off of, I understand what Coach Marv just said about him hurting his fibula, and it's only about an 8-week thing. But I just got to see it before I say tone it back. I just got to see it. All right, phone line is still open. We only got time for maybe about one or two more. One or two, and I'm gonna shut it down. I told y'all this podcast today. This show today is kind of a opinionated show where everybody's opinion is right. Everybody except Eastside Harold. Other than him, everybody else is right. You see what I'm saying? So everybody opinion is I'm just saying what I see as of right now. Which really, this show is really premature because really can't say it's no definites here because we got another whole draft to go. We still got free agency to go. And so the team is nowhere near where it's going to be, let's say, even in the preseason, as we get, as they start doing the cuts and everything. But you're starting to see some of the foundation of the team. And as of today, I'm still saying the same thing. The strength of this team offensively is the running back position. Appreciate you, Matrix Adams. Thank you so much. As of today, the offensive strength of the team is the quarterback and wide receivers. It's not running back, not offensive line yet. I mean, what we'll say, like back in the day, we said the offensive line is the strength of this. It wasn't, a lot of folks say Zeke, but a lot of people gave credit to the offensive line. Right now, our strongest position right now is the wide receiver position, to me. Terry says we need to get offensive linemen, and are you and running the ball, linemen and running the ball? Yeah, well, I believe they had a plan, Terry. That's where they've had a plan, and this ain't just happened. I believe they targeted. While everybody was talking about Odell and everybody was talking about DeAndre Hopkins, they had they goals and eyes set on Brandon Cooks. That they went and got him. They had every opportunity to get him. They already had a goal in mind. They hurry up and got Ronald Jones in for a workout and then let him get out the building. They hurry up and sign him. So when you start talking about that, you just don't call them up. They've already studied Ronald Jones. They know he had fresh legs because he didn't hardly play last year. He's still young. It's really brilliant what they've done. And so I believe that the same kind of focus and stuff is going to the draft, obviously, because this is what we do quite well, I may add, and that's the draft. So they got a plan, and I will probably bet, that offensive lineman is going to be in the draft somewhere. My preference, I know everybody's looking for the sexy pick at 26. If B. John Robinson is there, a lot of y'all gonna be pissed off if we don't get B. John. But I love the idea of having another first round draft pick as a lineman there. Go with Tyler Smith. That's called getting good and rebuilding in a sense at the same time. Yeah, I mean, I want that. A lot of people talking about that kid from Florida, the guard from Florida, who on tape looked pretty good to me. I would love to have him. We're gonna address offensive linemen. You know it's coming in the draft, but question is where and when. Joe says he don't trust exactly. He said he don't trust Tyron Smith. I don't know how Steele is going to be after his injury. Is Tyler Smith going to be better or worse? A lot of questions to be answered. I think one thing that we probably can say though, Tyler Smith is only going to get better. Tyler Smith. There's an argument should have been made last year. He probably should have been in the Pro Bowl last year. Tyler Smith, he's only going to get better. Tyron Smith, we already know about him. It's just a matter of time. It's not if, it's when. I just hope God touch his body one good time where he can play about 12, 13 games for us. Steele is a dog. He's mean too. A physical type dude. Love him. But as you just said, we don't know. Coach Marv just said he's already kind of moving around. Not practicing, but moving well on his leg. That's good news. We need him. All right, I'm gone now, y'all. I appreciate y'all hanging with me. Thanks for hanging with me. Thanks. Thank you. We'll see you probably on Monday, a couple days from now. We'll talk again. I'll probably pick back up on this just a little bit more, and talk about something else as well. Appreciate all of you. I'd like to apologize for those that are on Twitter. I don't know what happened. I can never see your comments anyway, because the system that I use doesn't allow Twitter's comments on here, but you can watch me live on Twitter on my page at Big Time Lou. I don't know what's going on there. I looked at it myself while Coach Marr was talking, and it was there, and then all of a sudden it just stopped. So I don't know what was going on. Those that are watching Twitter, if you just want to be safe, go ahead and just hook up to my YouTube page or my Facebook page. Hadn't never been any problems out there. So I appreciate you guys wherever you're watching me from. Thank you for that. For those that are listening to this replay on iHeartRadio, Pandora, LinkedIn, Spotify. For all of you that are listening to this, I appreciate you hanging with me for this time. Keep hanging with me, and we're going to keep trying to bring, some pretty good content here. Thank y'all for hanging with me. I'm going to get out of here now. See you guys on Monday at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. And as we leave, you know what to do. Joe already has done it. I need to see some clap emojis going. We're going to get on out of here. All right? Monday, 7 p.m. Y'all know where to find me. Right where you watching now. Turn those live notifications on so that you do not miss me. 7 p.m. Central Time. I'll be hanging with you again for the one and only, ladies and gentlemen. This has been the Big Time Show.